Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another live stream of RTG's League Racing. And we're back for another season. We had to abandon the last season just due to the game just starting off with a few issues. But after the update on Monday, it looks like we're back on track and we're starting with season 12 opener here in Canada at the Montreal circuit on the man-made island that was made out of the old leftovers from the metro system they built in the 1970s. Of course, the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, obviously named after the late great Ferrari driver, whose son eventually in 1997 won the World Championship with Williams, who we're with at the moment, with Samron Kims, as he makes his way down the back straight. And as we go down this back straight, it's going to go down to the final two corners on the circuit, and there's 14 of them actually as he dives into the pit lane. It's 4.361 kilometres in length. It's been around since 1978. We'll have 35 laps to run when we get through these three-part qualifying sessions per usual. We usually drop the bottom 5, but we've only got 16 tonight, so it'll be the one driver dropping out in Q1, and then 5 for Q2, and then we'll have the top 10 shootout in Q3. Feels like it's been ages, Lee.
I was thinking to myself, when is it going to introduce us?
Do you like a little fun fact, though? Do you like the fun fact?
Didn't even know that myself. But we've seen the first times come in, 111.3. Barely even see that. There we go. But yeah, I didn't really know that, to be honest, but fun fact there.
I'm going to try and do one about the tracks every week from now on. At the start, I'm going to try and do a fun fact for every race. So, welcome everyone who's watching. We've got 2 lap times on the board as it stands. Still close together. We did have one race we commentated on F123 in the final race of last season before it was abandoned. Got a Red Bull there, literally parked on the pit exit. And now he's got himself going against an Aston Martin. He's mowing some grass. So yeah, really, Lee, this is really now the true start of F123 with the new update. We had an awful one with tyre wear, wasn't it? Not overheating, but it was tyre wear, I think.
Yeah, it was today with tyre wear. Like after what was it, 12, to 14 laps. Like it was like the Red Bull and the Haas were lasting like 14 laps, but Ferrari and everything was only lasting 12 laps.
Yeah.
So,
but it was
a bit of a, and that was unequal performance as well. So having that, it wasn't really truly equal performance.
No. As Josh McGill runs deep at turn 1 after completing his lap. Of course, in real life, they've actually got a wall there now on the exit of turn 2 on the inside, which is a bit sketchy, I thought, watching the Canadian Grand Prix a few weeks ago, about a month ago now.
As well, because then, say a wee touch happens, you know what I mean, but then again that could protect other ends that are coming out of turn 2. So it could be a potential lifesaver in that sense, but in another sense, could end up ruining people's races. They end up going that wee bit deep.
It certainly could. So, pretty respectable lap times at the top of the field so far. We've had 7 minutes already in the session. Of course, me and Lee do usually start just a little bit late in Q1. As there's not too much to talk about, especially today with 16 drivers. The first qualifying session is pretty much for everyone just an obligation, really. We will lose one driver, whether that is due to them not being fast enough or someone actually crashing out in this session. Who knows? We've got the short markers on those intermediates. We've seen time and time again. It's probably a good idea, actually, this time, just to have a little go on the intermediates, save your soft tyres. I'm amazed they're able to manage a lap, though, as 115.1.
It's not too bad.
Well, he's not last, is he? But Chuckle was another one on the inters.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too far off the pace, really, of Lee and Mercedes there, of 12.8. So, wet tyres on a dry track in that sense, not too bad from them guys.
No. So I will say again, obviously we have done one race, so I've said a few of these things already, but it's such a relief to have the logos on the timing graph now.
Yes. Praise the Lord for that, because it was just so annoying we had the blues. Like the Alpines and the Red Bulls, Mercedes, Williams,
Before Alpine, we could usually work it out. 3 blues was acceptable. But I think it's the blue of the Alpine and the blue of the Williams that's so similar.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why the Alpine isn't just a pink colour, as in like Mercedes are the Petronas green, aren't they? And they always have been.
That was next to just getting his lap in there at 112.1. Paul Jones coming across the line now, 111.4.
Very close in the midfield again. Drivers coming to grips with these new cars. A bit slower, feel a bit different. I feel like they're a bit heavier in braking, they're better on the traction. But I feel like you definitely feel the weight more in these cars.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, it's a bit heavier under braking as well. You can't really get it stopped as quick, I would say. Or is that just me?
No, I definitely feel it as well. And I had a bit of apologies to people like Ginge actually publicly now. I had a bit of a piss poor race on Monday. Not getting my braking zones right when going wheel to wheel with people. Just so used to braking that little bit later and being able to get it stopped, and wasn't able to on Monday. So there you go. There's my public apology. If anyone was wanting one, there you go. You have it. As we're watching Bugatti make his way through the start of Sector 2. And makes his way through 8 and 9. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, Prodigy's just the way to come to the final chicane now. Just see what Aston Martin driver gets to do. 111.224, fastest time on the board right now.
Yeah, so we've got an Aston Martin 1.3 and we've got an Alpine 2.4 as it stands.
Chuck putting him on 111.5, putting him into 6th place. 2 seconds.
No worries.
Sweet. Oh, here we go. We've got Ginger in his lap now. Comes 3 and 4 there. You still there?
Sorry, yeah, I was just doing something as we watched Ginge make his way down the first of the 3 DRS straights on this Gilles Villeneuve circuit and makes his way down to the hairpin of turn 10. Gets it into the apex really rather nicely there. Doesn't use all the track on the left hand side, but gets a really good run as he makes his way down now towards turn 13. A lot of time to think about your braking zones, those final 2 corners. This chicane as well, potentially a bit tighter than it was before, but I think the wall has been extended on the right hand side, which means the apex doesn't, you're unsighted from the apex for the first few meters until you turn in, as Ginge does a 111.431, so it's very close in the sort of the middle of the top 10.
Yeah, got Chuckle now coming to the second of the 3 DRS sections now. I've not properly seen, but then there we go, he managed to get through that chicane with a bloody rocket there. Do you think he's going to be put on the board at 110.7? Nicely done, little male driver. Short Marcus now in the drop zone right now.
Yeah.
These are one hard compound tyres.
So he's
Nobody's
gone
feeling
for,
confident.
yeah, well, he's gone for a harder set, a harder specification of tyres for the tonight's event, and that means he'll have two sets of softs, a medium and a hard tyre, which he's using right now, and he's about to start an attempt, as he did invalidate before, and he's going for it as the DRS is open, as he makes his way into turn one, the quick left-hander, and then followed by a right-hander, as we turn back on ourselves 180 degrees and down this short stretch before we get to turns 4 and 5. Turns 3 and 4, sorry, now through turn 5, and then on the brakes for turn 6, another chicane. Lewis Hamilton's described this track as a go-kart track in years gone by, and it certainly has that feel. There's just a lot of straights, a lot of braking zones, a bit like a Monza 2.0 as well. So certainly a very quick circuit. As me and Lee said earlier on today, when we found out we were commentating at Canada, it might see penalties galore tonight. It might be Austria in the a couple of weeks ago in the Grand Prix there, where it had a huge amount of time penalties in the real life race. It looks like this Alfa Romeo might be helping out the Williams, not to his own making, as he makes his way down. Maybe he is actually, as he now pulls out to the right hand side, and the Williams pulls left and turns right, left around the final two corners and makes his way to the line, stays to the right hand side to get the shortest run. Only goes 10th, Lee.
That's actually quite good considering.
Oh yeah, true, the hard tyres. I'd say though, with that time though, Leah, he's not squeaky clean just yet.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, still got a good few fast drivers right behind him. He's trying to shave off as much time as he can, just in case he needs to get back out and do a soft run.
So most drivers are in the pits. There's a few on out laps as Ginger's retired, so he thinks he's safe, which he probably is, as you only have one driver being eliminated in this session. Inexa warming up his tyres for his final attempt.
I will say, looking at the times right now between Ginge and Paul Jones Jr., between 5th and 7th, only 11 thousandths of a second.
Yeah.
Between the pair of them. Between the three of them, sorry.
Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah,
11 thousandths of a second. So, I think Paul Jones on an outlap as well. Some drivers deciding to go early. Inexa is just about to start his final attempt. He's got just over 2 minutes on the clock, so he could go for another one. But he's had to bail out this one, or just go again as he makes his way through turn 2. Tricky corner to get right as we now make our way through turn 3. Now 4 and 5, where he has invalidated, but he's got the fuel on board to be able to go again. Probably a bit too much fuel, actually. And Shaw Marcus retires, so that lap he's done on the hard tyres is potentially going to be good enough. Probably is. But you never know. The Williams is now coming in.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Cameron Simmons going to be out.
Well, Marcus, you're commenting whether you're going to get through. I think you have got through, because I think your teammates just gifted it to you there. Yeah,
well,
just over 1 minute left on the clock. There's no chance for him to get back out again. So that is the end of qualifying. We've got drivers starting laps where they don't need to. They're actually potentially burning up a new set. We'll see if they're running a new set. A few of them are actually.
Yep. Hugeman isn't.
Hugeman's on an old set. And usually, as a rule of thumb for me, I don't usually, unless I really have to, use 2 sets in Q1.
Yeah, I would say you're best saving them for as late as possible.
I think there's always time to be made in Q1 anyway, because your first lap's always, unless you get really lucky, that first lap is always a little bit scruffy. So you can always improve with a used set. And with the 18 minutes in Q1, you've got enough time to do 3 laps. Two laps on the same tyre, and then you've still got enough time to go out again on a fresh set.
So, Craig, you're struggling with his fuel right now.
Evening, Marcus. Just said anyway. Good evening.
I've saved all my softs.
Yeah. So he's just saying he's saved all his softs as well. Only 2 sets though, I believe, Marcus. So you'll have a medium set as well. So I'm sure you're going to use that one in the next part of qualifying, and hopefully just that set. And then you're potentially opening to 2 fresh softs for Q3. That would be my guess. And then you've got a used set of hards and actually used set of mediums and 2 used sets of softs. So you're looking like you'll be in a good place with strategy in the race. I'm sure you might keep your cards close to your chest, but that's what I think is going to happen, or what you're hoping to happen.
Well, only time will tell and see if it'll be able to pay off for him in the next few moments.
Of course they are. So, of course, I just saw it on the McLaren and the Mercedes, 2 drivers running the number 3 car, which, of course, they may be able to on this game, but they may take it off and not allow you to use that number 3 car, because Daniel Ricciardo is, from next week, driving in the AlphaTauri. Not again, I suppose it was Toro Rosso before, but driving in the same team that he basically started his Formula 1 career in. And before you say anything, Nate, I'm going to have to say this. My fiancée, she called it. So, anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute.
So, wee quick rundown there. Right now, we've got trouble in the 1 minute 10.7 there, getting first place Q1. Paul Jones second, Roger third, Josh McGill was fourth, Mike Jones was fifth, Ginger sixth, Tyler in seventh, eighth, Chuck Aki ninth, 10th was next to a short Marcus Munson get through on the hard compound tyres, nicely done from him. Lee Craig in 12th, Bugatti Sullivan in 13th, 14th was Tidgman and Phil in 15th. And Cameron Sims, the only one being eliminated, unfortunately.
So now on to Q2, where we'll have 15 minutes of running with the 15 drivers remaining, and the bottom 5 will be dropped out, and we'll go down to 12 minutes for that final qualifying session for the pole shootout. And of course, we're a lot better now, but we did always used to forget about the fact that there is a point for pole. So there is definitely something up for grabs apart from the front row, as usual, and it can make a difference towards the end of the season. Of course, we've got a 10 race calendar, as we usually do for RTG, as we have drivers now making their way out onto the circuit. So as we said before, Daniel Ricciardo back in the AlphaTauri starting next week in the Hungarian Grand Prix.
I reckon it's going to be fun.
I will just say, though, I feel quite bad for Nick de Vries. I mean, he didn't do the best, but I don't think not even halfway through the season, to prove your point, in arguably the worst car on the grid.
Yeah.
A bit harsh.
A bit. It is a bit harsh.
And you can't say the man's not a good driver. I mean, Formula E world champion, Formula 2 world champion. He certainly had the CV to back it up.
Yeah, of course, but end of the day, if you're not up to scratch, if you're not basically winning and fighting for race wins and podiums, and
What, in the
Obviously,
2023 Alpha Tauri?
well,
Wins and podiums. I want to know what races
well,
you've been watching, mate.
well, look at like Max when he first came into it. He ended up like winning the Toro Rosso, did he not?
Nope. He won the Red Bull.
Did he?
He's only ever won the Red Bull, yeah. Sebastian Vettel won it in a
Right.
Toro Rosso.
Well, there you go. Well, Max when he was in a Toro Rosso, he was
Pierre,
like
Pierre Gasly won in
proper.
the Alpha Tauri, didn't he?
What race was that again?
2020 Italian Grand Prix.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, Josh McGill, the first driver to be setting a lap, setting the benchmark in Q2. And look at that, short markers on the medium tyres on an out lap. So,
Oh, Paul Jones on the mediums also. This
oh
is
yeah,
taking me back to the older days of F1.
yeah. Like Q2, you used to see a mixture of compounds, of course, because whatever you set your tyre on, set your lap on in the top 10 in this session, you used to start the race on those tyres. I actually, when it first changed, I liked it, and the more we've gone on without the rule, the more I don't like not having that rule anymore.
Yeah.
I think it helped with racing, actually, is felt it's actually set the benchmark. It wasn't Josh McGill, who now sets the benchmark with a 110.7.
Seeing them times come down quite rapidly now.
10.9 for Prodigy, and the other Aston Martin at 11.3. His teammate in third place, Matty Jones, actually, watching him from F1 22-23, didn't have bad pace in 22 by any means, but he certainly clicked already with him this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. He seems to have found his pacing quite quick. Well, I'm on board the short Marcus right now as he's just came into the second DRS stretch, now coming up to the final chicane. Taking as much apex as he possibly can. Getting a ball here away from the wall of champions, coming across the line to see what he's going to do.
Whoa.
11.1!
On the
Jesus.
medium tyres. Wow. He might want to go again on that medium set, but I don't know if he's going to need to with that time, actually.
Well, I'm on board with Paul Jones Jr., who seems to have been copying a bit of Sean Marcus's style here and going for the mediums also. He's just came out of top 10 now.
Is this going to throw a curveball here, Lee? Is the medium tyre going to be a good quality tyre here at Canada?
I mean, it looks like it. As he's coming into the final chicane, nicely done. Cutting as much of that first chicane as possible. Coming across the line at 11.5. Nicely done.
And we've got Chuckle as well, who's going on the medium tyre. We'll keep an eye out on him as well. So, very interestingly, obviously the soft tyre may be just starting to really be punished in that final sector. When you come around the hairpin and then the chicane into the wall of champions, and the medium tyre, of course, can just last that little bit longer. And they obviously seem to be getting the pace from it.
Yeah, it seems so. I mean, it does look like the medium tyre could be quite possibly the quicker tyre.
Bizarrely.
Yeah, funnily enough.
And then I'm also thinking, does that mean that the hard tyre might be actually a good race tyre here?
Quite possibly, actually. Could see some quite long stints out there. I mean, it's what, 36 laps, I think, is it?
35.
35 laps. So, yeah, we've seen Chuckle coming across the line, see what time he's going to do.
Oh, very good time again.
Oof, just a ball here off Sean Marcus there. Oh, I was seeing Nick's doing the same. He's been paying attention to the stream.
Marcus saying, reckon I'm safe? Yeah, we reckon you're safe, mate. Actually, just a little text, a typing interview here. Marcus, are those tyres actually really good? We've just, I don't know if you heard, we've just come back in the pitch. We're just saying it looks like it's a really good quality tyre, actually.
Yeah,
so we'll see what he responds with. I'm sure he'll come back quite quickly.
So Tyler's run out of fuel. Just managing to get into the pits there. Let's see.
We're just watching Ginge coming around the final corner at the Wall of Champions, start his lap. He's had an answer firstly. You're going to have to read that one because I can't get it all, so no point me starting it if I won't be able to finish.
It felt decent, got a huge understeer first few corners, but they bed in by second half of the lap. So, pretty rubbish at the start of the lap, but came through a lot better at the end.
And he's also said it's definitely going to be the best race tyre as well. So we actually thought maybe the hards might be a good race tyre. You might be able to go quite long on them, but what do we know?
Again, we don't know exactly the ones driving it. I've seen Ginge into turn 10 right now. Keeps it right in tight to that apex. And coming down the straight. Time do you reckon he's going to do?
Get an indication about now. So he's going to be in the 111s, I think. 11.3.
Ooh. I reckon he's going to need to go again. That could be dangerous there. I've seen Inexa basically sliding across the final chicane there. Coming across the line, see what time he's going to put in medium. Ooh.
111.9. They're not bad times on the mediums. They're really not. That might be a take note for, obviously we had that on Monday, G race as well, Lee. But like a track like Belgium, a longer circuit, take note. Maybe going for a medium tyre might not be a bad shout.
True.
So, got just over 6 minutes. Well, now we have 6 minutes left of this session. A Ferrari's about to come out of the garage. It's pretty close between the top 10, about 7/10 or so. Sorry, 8/10, just over 8/10. Just over 8/10 to 11th place, and I'm sure that'll get slightly closer. I'm surprised some drivers are coming out now, as we see Ginge in that, again, all black Mercedes into the garage. So I think Proddy's just finished a lap and goes on the top spot with a 110.3. And that's now increased the top 10 gap by 1.1 seconds. So it does mean Leeds. It's good. I was just going to say it's going to ramp up, and as soon as I started saying that, Marcus just put in the comments that he's a little bit wary of that medium time now, Lee. But does he risk? He hasn't got the time. All the drivers on the medium tyres haven't got time to do another lap on the mediums and a lap on the softs. So it's either a gamble on the mediums again, or they're going to have to go for a fresh set of softs.
I reckon Chuckle and Marcus will be safe. That's what I think. But Paul Jones Jr. definitely needs to go again. I would say it's probably going to be roughly about 111.1 could be the pace.
The cut-off.
The cut-off, sorry, Tenth is only 4/10 slower. True.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking a low 111 probably is going to be the cut-off.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a few minutes to find out if that's the case. We've got a couple of drivers out on their outlaps so far, and that also means Chuckles, yeah, he's not risking it, going out on the soft tyre. Does that mean that short markers will respond? We have another on the soft tyre, still set their lap in the top 10, that's Paul Jones Jr., but he is also out, so short markers is the only one who hasn't come back out just yet for another lap on a soft tyre. And will he have the nerve to hold it out? Of course, the other thing he can do is try and come out at the very end, Lee.
Yeah.
and hope that he's safe and knowing he's the last car and just backing off his soft lap at the end.
True. That would be the only way I could think to appeal to him, but I've seen everybody out right now, except from, of course, there's Tyler, and then a few behind him as well.
So yeah, drivers now coming out on the circuit getting quite busy now. But most of them waiting and waiting till the last moment. I'm sure we'll see a chain reaction, Lee, in about 20 seconds time with cars all starting to stream out the garage. So of course they're going to have to give themselves a little bit of space as well. So it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get around the lap and get across the start-finish line to start their final attempt in Q2.
Yes, certainly. I've not seen any movement in the garages at the moment. Everyone's still quite stationary, so...
Yeah, well, it is a short lap here. We've got Short Marcus now out of the pits. He's on the softs.
Ginger's just came out of the box now.
And Tegeman, I think, must be coming out right about now. It's, as you see, it's a slow lap. It's probably about 1:20 to get round. So they need to be getting out just about now. It takes them about, well, it depends where they are in the pit lane, of course, as well. If you're further down the end, where like a Williams or an Alfa Romeo garage is, you're potentially in good stead to get out a little bit later. And Tegeman's still in the garage with 1:30 to go. He's I don't think he's going to come out. You've got Phil, who's also in the garage as well, or coming into the pit lane.
Oh, who's that coming out? Or is that? Oh, that's somebody going in.
Yeah, so Tej isn't going to come out. That's it. So he's out as well. There's not enough time left on the board to get through.
Tej and Phil.
Aki now making his way through the final corner to start his first lap. But Inexa, I think, will be up first for the drivers who can survive, who potentially can survive towards the next session.
Yeah, he's down on his time, but he's got 7 tenths unless he could go again.
Oh,
Then again, he's not got much battery in that sense.
No, he's over. Yeah, he's got 35 seconds left. He's got enough time to go again. He's got the fuel to go again. As RTG Lee starts his lap. Aki coming through turn 9. And Inexa is also out in qualifying. So it's only Aki and Lee that potentially are going to be out. We've got Paul Jones and Ginge who are not safe just yet. So they're going to have to do their laps. And Ginge is slowed right down. So he's on the cusp of being out. Aki is up on his lap time. He needs to be up by a bit more than he is. He's going to have a great wall of champions as he now makes his way towards the line. Is he going to be safe and through to the final part? Yes, he is. He knocks Ginge out.
Then again, there's Lee Craig just coming out of turn 10 now. He's just opening that DRS now. Let's see what time he's going to be at the gas. He's just coming into the final chicane right now, taking as much of that curb as possible. Let's see, is he going to be able to get a better time than 1:11.3? No, he isn't! He's quicker, but just not quick enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we have our bottom 5 in Q2.
Paul Jones Jr. just rocketing up the board there into second place.
Yeah, so he made sure he was safe as well. That's a very good time. A long way off Prodigy, though, who is set his barnstorming lap and so close on the cusp of that top 10. And Ginge, I'm sure, is going to be absolutely kicking himself after that.
Yeah, he just had validated on his lap, unfortunately, so that kind of messed him up. But what is that? 300ths of a second? Aki just pipped them by.
Yeah, 400. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you make your mind up? As we're waiting, I think I was just waiting for short Marcus to get probably in his garage. Yep, here we go. So, we quick rundown of the order of the second of 3 qualifying sessions. See Prodigy taking the top spot there with a 110.3. Really quick time there. 3 tenths behind him was Paul Jones Jr. And then it was Josh McGill in third. Fourth was Sean Marcus Chuckle in fifth. And they were all in the 1 minute 10s. And sixth was Matty Jones Taylor in seventh. Chuck in eighth. Bugatti Slovan ninth and Aki in 10th. Ginge just getting pipped at the end there, unfortunately, invalidating his lap. Tidgeman chose not to go out. Next set, didn't manage to get a good lap in. Lee Craig out also, and Phil out also. They will be starting in the respective places 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. So, last 10.
Yeah, the final 10, as we'll get underway in a few moments. 12 minutes of this final session in qualifying before we get into our 50% race.
Now look up in the sky.
It's just a bit cloudy. I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be fine. I was just having a look for teammates. Got 2 Alpines, 2 Aston Martins, 2 Alfa Romeos, and then a Sol Williams, Alfa Tauri, Ferrari, and Haas.
If only this was like more like real F1. No Red Bulls.
Oh yeah. Yeah, something we've not been used to, isn't it? Well, at least one anyway.
I think that's one thing we're just sick of seeing now.
Yeah, Red Bulls. Red Bulls.
Here's Max just pure casually cruising it in front of a Sunday drive. Abby's just pure battling. So let's see, who is the first driver? It's Josh McGill in Alpine.
Josh McGill, so in second on the standings on your left hand side at the moment as he makes his way into the hairpin of turn 10. And then we'll go through the kinks of 11 and 12 and down the back straight towards the final 2 corners to start his first attempt. We've got 9 drivers out on the track, Chuckle being the only one that hasn't left his garage yet, but he has actually. He's just coming out onto the track as Josh McGill starts his first lap. I think we've got the Alfa Tauri after that, followed by a Aston Martin, which I'm sure Lee will tell me which one that is, and then the Haas of Bugatti after that. So as we see Josh McGill make his way through turn 2 and rise up the hill as we make our way to turn 3, as we plunge down and towards that wall as we get as close as we can, and then make our way through the flat out turn 5 and then brake to turn left-handed into turn 6 and then on to 7, get close to the wall on the outside again. This part street circuit, which is used as a permanent base some of the time, and some of the roads are actually used for public use as we make our way around turn 9 and now into turn 10, one of the trickiest corners on the track, especially with the exit that you're going to have, especially in race when you're in the race, when you're going to be going for overtakes. But of course now we just want the best speed before we hit the brakes at about 100 metres before turn 13. As we now open the DRS up, we're going to get up to about 205 miles an hour when we hit the brakes at the 100 metre board, right, left, up to the wall of champions, and now stay right to get the best lap time you can as he crosses the line to set the first lap with a 110.5, a very good lap from Josh McGill. Paul Jones up next, goes on to provisional pole with a 110.4. Matty Jones, I think, invalidated his previous lap.
I think he may have. Let's see who's going to be next. I think it's Aki. He's invalidated. This is Taylor. shot Marcus coming to the World Champion chicane, just skimming that wall there, 110.515, only 25 thousandths of a second off.
Yeah, and Paul Jones on provisional pole. I'd probably set a lap as well, 110.5. Sorry, I lost the order. We've got Chuckle crossing the line as we speak. 110.5 for him as well. 4 drivers with the same time within the first tenth of a second. Matty Jones coming through the wall of champions now. Hasn't invalidated, so he's going to be able to set a lap time. What's it going to be? 110.8, almost on the nose.
Oh, that's a done from him. She is not back. He'll be boxing same with Tyler, so they've not got enough fuel to go again.
He comes to the line now. He was 10th in Q2. 111.3. So majority of drivers into the 110s now. 110.6 for Tyler John, sorry.
Oh, they did complete the laps, nicely done.
Yeah, so everyone has set a lap time.
So this will be calm in just a minute or two, I would say.
Yeah, well, let's just have a look at the delta between the drivers, Lee. Between the top 8, it's just over 0.3 of a second.
Jeez. Top 5 within 1/10. That just goes to show you how competitive these guys are with each other. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this in the race. See Aki and Tyler crawling back to the pits now.
Yeah, Aki as well, so he's in low fuel mode. Don't think he's got his battery on either, which of course does help with the straight line speed when you haven't got any fuel, just uses the battery pack. So now everyone in the pits, got Bugatti already out on an out lap.
Oh. He'll be wanting to get on the track well, it's a bit quieter.
Yeah, he has the track all to himself. He will have enough time to go again if he bails out of this lap. He can come back into the pits. But I'm not sure if he's got enough time to do it in lap and get back out again. It would be tight if that was the case as he makes his way through turn 2. Have you got a favourite corner on this circuit, Lee?
On this one, I probably turns 3 and 4, or the final chicane.
Well, the final chicane is the most iconic corner.
Yeah, of course.
On the circuit. Oh, he's backed off. Oh yeah, he's invalidated, so yeah, he's backed off. He can get back in and get back out again.
Yep, he's got time. He'll be just taking it slow, trying not to take it anything out of damn tyres. We've seen Chuck already start coming out tyres out as well. It's on his out lap tyres just coming out of the pits. Same with Mike Jones as well, he's just out of the pits also, so we've got 3 drivers just out the pits. Guy's Sloven. What's he doing? So he's trying to get the bar up to charge. So it's going to be Chuck who's starting a lap first here. As I say, I'm just coming through the final chicane now. See the time he'll be able to put on the board in just a minute.
Yeah, and he's gone quite early actually. We've still got just under 3 minutes to go.
Oh, he's not using battery.
Oh, maybe he's going for a... He's doing a lead special, another lead special, and doing a second cool down. Or second out lap.
Just burn that wee bit of extra fuel.
Someone who is on a lap though is Matty Jones as he makes his way through turn 7 and on his way down towards turn 8. DRS open, shortest DRS straight on this circuit. Quite conservative with the first part of the chicane, and on the exit as well, as he now goes into turn 10. And some drivers opting to take a slightly wider line just to get the car straightened a bit quicker, and it will gain you that advantage as we make our way down towards the final chicane. Probably the hardest 2 corners on the track. It's an all or nothing kind of set of corners, and he really took advantage of the curbs there. And this could be a very good time by Matty Jones, and he did go faster, about 3/4 of a tenth faster than his previous lap, but he hasn't been able to go faster.
Oh, Matty Jones has
spun. Yeah, he spun at turn 2. And he's got cars coming through now.
I think with the temperature dropping here, they're just not getting as much grip. Because I noticed Tyler was so wide out at turn 6 just a moment ago when he was on his flying lap. So, wondering how much that's been playing a factor into it.
Oh, the one thing I haven't confirmed, by the way, Prof's in the chat as well, so good evening, Prof. As Proddy goes on to provisional pole, we didn't actually see that lap time, but we've seen the lap time at the end. And that's a 1:10.2, so a very decent time from him. We've got a Ferrari coming down the start finish. That's Chuck. Goes on to the front row, but it's not going to be good enough for pole position. And he won't have the battery to go again, so I'm surely that'll be it for him. Tyler John has entered the pit lane, so he's not going to go any faster.
Sean Marcus is around at turn 6 there.
Oh no, and Chuckle now making his way across the line, goes on to provisional pole with a 1:10.192, sorry, and that looking like a very good time. What's Josh McGill going to do? Coming across the line now, goes on to the front row, 1/4 of a tenth behind the leader. And have we got anyone else to go? Got Paul Jones, he was on provisional pole earlier on. Is he going to snatch it? No. But 4 drivers within a tenth of each other.
Jesus. I see is actually going to make it 5. Yeah, he's down on his time. The guy, he's up on his time, but only by a 1/4 of a second at the now.
Yeah, he needs to improve a lot more than that.
Yep, definitely.
So we got Aki up first. Chuckle looking like it's going to happen as his teammate dives into the pits. So Aki's not gone faster. He's bailed out. Bugatti, the last driver to set a lap. Is he going to snatch pole away from Chuckle? The time doesn't suggest so, and he isn't. He's within a second of the pole sitter, but he's starting 10th. But that does mean, as I said, Chuckle on pole for round 1 in season 12.
Nicely done there, the first pole sitter in season 12. Getting that extra point.
Yeah, getting an extra point as well, but the top 4 within a tenth.
Honestly, that's quicker than the blink of an eye between a lot of them.
Really is.
Yep, so, kinda reminds me of, who was it, Stroll and somebody else here just a few weeks ago? Remember the end of the race, it was just
My
like,
memory's not that good.
no. They basically came across the line at the same time. I think it was Stroll that just got him at the end, whatever it was. But anyway, on to this. So we see the top four, only a tenth between them. In the end, we've got Chuckle in P1 getting that pole position, nicely done for him. The extra point also. Josh McGill in P2 Prodigy will be starting on the second row, and third next time will be Paul Jones. Fifth will be Chuck. Sixth is Short Marcus. Tyler in seventh. Eighth is Mai Jones, and on the fifth row is Aki and Bagai Slovan. So, moving on to the main event, the race.
Well, hopefully, the top four especially are going to be as close in the race as they have been in qualifying. Because if for this race and for the season coming, potentially very exciting. So, have we got a formation lap, Lee?
I'll check that as soon as we load in. I hope so.
My days. No formation lap, said Short Marcus. So, we'll have to do it the way we did it the other week. Intermediate weather, Lee.
Ooh, spicy.
There is a drizzle upon the circuit. So, first wet race of the season. In all 3 days, there's a dry race in Belgium. So, don't know if it's going to clear up. Marcus, you're in the chat. Oh, no, sorry, we're about to get underway. We didn't even get the countdown. We've got 5 red lights. And it's away we go for the Canadian Grand Prix. And Chuckle getting a really poor start there. And he's lost the lead to Josh McGill as we go into turn 1. Chuckle then goes deep. And Josh McGill has to then cut over the track. There's a 5-second penalty in the process as well. But he has taken the lead. So not much more he could have done about that, really. So he may as well just keep the lead now and try and gain on the advantage he did have. But of course, having the 5-second penalty is going to hinder him when he goes to the pits. So as we move slightly further back, looks like the McLaren trying to go at the inside there, Teach of the Haas, but it hasn't been able to do so. Tyler and Chuck going wheel to wheel through turn 7.
But Tyler and Jen's just getting past Tyler there, going into turn 7 there. Notice like the Aston Martin Matty Jones going through turn 4 there.
Oh, his proddy's hit the wall.
Oh.
And there is
after him getting such
virtual
a great
safety car.
Oh, seeing him with damage also. That thing is like a spearhead right now.
Well, so that was a bit of a mad start. Caught us off guard because we didn't see a timer for some reason.
I think that penalty for Josh McGill is a bit much there because he did kind of get shoved off from Chuckle there. Just
but
racing instance though.
It is, yeah, 100%. It's a wet start. It's going to be difficult into turn 1, knowing where the break point is.
Oh,
there's a penalty speeding pit lane for Bugatti Slovan. Proddy enters the pits as well. Of course, it's not going to be as much of an impact as racing at full speed, but now we do get back racing to full speed. Drive-through penalty for Phil. It's all happening on this first lap as we go on to our second tour.
Just seen Cameron Sims there on the wee turn 1-2 island there. On the inside of turn 2 there. No idea what happened to him there, just seen him parked up there. But we're seeing, got Ginge and Chuck there battle now. Ginge just managing to get a better grip out of turn 6 there. And from that inside line, Chuck, nicely done there. Matty Jones, 3-second time penalty. These penalties are going to be certainly racking up tonight, especially with being intermediates.
And we're seeing Short Marcus now challenging for that second place. He has superior straight line speed to that Alpha Tauri, but then outbrakes himself and has now lost the place again. So Paul Jones back up into second. I think he must have got a warning for that, but didn't get a penalty. It was just a mistake, so I think that was quite good from the game, not giving him a penalty. Deserves a warning.
Oh, full wets for Chuckle. Full wets for Chuckle.
Oh, interesting. So the weather does look pretty bad. We're getting some standing water, actually.
Oh.
Especially into turn one, got some standing water. And driver's starting to struggle.
Lee Craig and Matty Jones on the wets also.
Wow, this is
interesting.
very interesting. So,
I'll keep an eye on them and see.
Yeah, it's definitely getting worse. It's definitely getting worse.
Just Titchman managing to get past Ginge there.
So Chuckle just hesitant. I think those tyres need to get back up, get up to temperature rather than get back up to temperature. Get up to temperature before he can have some confidence in them as he runs.
Teachman's round.
Wide. Oh, Teachman's round, yeah. Turn 10.
That was under braking. The car just slid right out from him.
It's wet tyres, isn't it?
Definitely.
But Chuckle's struggling as well. I think drivers just hadn't had enough practice, Lee, in wet conditions on this game just yet. So they're just struggling with braking. They need to brake a bit earlier than they're thinking. Is Paul Jones and Short Marcus again going side by side, this time through turn 2 in the rear of that Alpha Tauri, getting really out of shape there before we go into turn 3. And Short Marcus now into second for the time being.
Chuck's on wets now.
Yeah. So he's elected to do that as well.
Same with Phil. So we've seen them all start coming in on the further west.
Oh, we got a DNF. That might be a safety. Oh, no, sorry. He's in the pit lane. That's very early for Lee Craig to be pitting. So we'll see what everyone are on tyre-wise. Well, everyone's looking at tyre-wise. And the top 8 still have not pit. They're still on the intermediate tyres. But Josh McGill, Lee, 7.5 seconds in the lead.
Oh, 7th place battling it out here between. Oh, Aki went and got must have got a poor exit from turn 8 there. He's just lost 3 places there. From 7th. Oh, Paul Jones has had a spin at the final chicane.
I didn't actually catch that. They're all struggling through that final chicane. So Teach actually sliding all the way through that final.
Chuckle colliding with the wall on the exit at turn 14 there into the wall of champions.
And Proddy on the attack as well. On Chuckle, also on the intermediate tyres. It's really a crossover period at the moment. Prodigy coming in on the Inters. The Inters working well on that Aston Martin as it stands. He's going to have the inside line for turn 3. He gets up the inside. This is very unusual. We don't see this very often. 2 different wet weather compounds up against each other and both working well, looking like into different areas of the track. As Chuckle's still struggling for grip, and now Proddy just feeling quite comfortable in the place that he is and is able to pull away from that Alfa Romeo.
Could be also that the setup's entirely different also.
Yeah.
Chuckle will be getting that extra straight line speed over Prodigy. Seems to be Prodigy's managing to get the advantage in the corners and able to get the traction down a bit easier, but then Chuckle is shaky a wee bit at his first, and then we'll be able to see that time start coming down rapidly. There we go. He's got that straight line speed, but And again, it's not going to serve you well if you've not got it in the corners. It makes it getting a 5-second time penalty. Actually got off the track there and let a couple of cars past there. Well, it looks like Aki and Phil are going to be going side by side into turn 13. Oh, and Aki decides to back out of it, and Phil goes into the pits. So I think is that damage on the Haas there from incident with Nixa.
I think has Phil got no, he hasn't got front wing damage. He's going back onto the Inters.
Oh, no.
Very interesting. These are the kind of races I like, and unfortunately in the esports league racing, you don't get them so much. But it seems like we're getting a bit of a cracker in terms of weather and strategy, actually, at the moment.
I think Teachman made an error coming out of turn 8 there.
Yeah, it looked like he did.
Just lost that twist of Prodigy there.
Yeah.
Nothing to 6th place.
And Chuckle now struggling on the wets. It looks like his tyres are potentially overheating. Lee, if you got on board with Chuckle, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it better than me. I'm trying to concentrate on other things. Tyre temperature for Chuckle on his dash. How's he looking, Lee? Are they always TG's retired in the pit lane?
Okay. Seem to be okay there.
Compared to Prodigy, what's it looking like? Like, because who's intermediate?
Compared to Aki, even, it's the same. And the Aki's on the inters also.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. So, down to 14, we're on lap 7 of 35. If you're enjoying the coverage of this Wednesday tier, we do have 3 tiers to watch throughout the week. Mondays today and Thursdays, and it'll be me and Lee again tomorrow night. Full qualifying for the Wednesdays and Thursdays, short for Monday, and with 50% race distances throughout. There's a couple of sprints in Monday and a couple of 100% races. I think, I remember it was Wednesday or Thursday. We're going to be doing those with a short qualifying session, so sort of reversing it. As Proddy's actually left the session, got himself back in again. But yeah, if you're liking what you're watching, make sure to subscribe to keep an eye out on our other days, and we'll have moments of the week back again from this season. I don't think we're going to be doing highlights. I think I outdid myself on that one, so we'll just go back to the moments of the week doing that, and maybe a couple of other things now and again. But anyway, back to the action. Intermediates or Wetsley, still looking like both are working in.
Oh, Chuckle and Prodigy side by side in turn 2. Chuckle's got the inside line.
Proddy's not in. Proddy's not in. Yeah, he's just got back in now, I think.
Chuck there sliding out of turn 2 there. So Prodigy is back in. Let's see how these intermediate tyres are going to fare up now. He's going to get the position back from Chuckle. Weather just too wet right now for him. But we see Chuckle there still getting a bit slippery out there.
So we got an intermediate tyre between 2 drivers on the wets, and the weather hasn't slowed up. Proddy's round again at turn 9. He did that earlier on in the race, and he's made the same mistake a few laps later, and we've got the safety car out. And I was going to say, Lee, I noticed a few seconds ago, Josh McGill, before the safety car, was 17 seconds in the lead. 17 seconds. It's now 21, yeah.
Look, he's not made
a pit stop, and he's got a 5-second time penalty. Of course, controversially, I know he got the penalty, Lee, but I'm not sure if we could appeal it in RTG. I'm not sure if they do that or did that. I can't remember, but maybe he should have given some places back. But then on the other hand, he's took the 5-second penalty and just gone with it. His Prodigy is retired as well. Driver's really struggling in the wet conditions.
Oh, no, Tyler went on a first set of intermediates.
And is that wet tyres for short markers? Of course, we haven't had the leader in the pit yet. Josh McGill was going to know what the 4 drivers behind him are on, and so we'll find out as well what tyres they're on. It's only Tyler Jones on the intermediates, as Lee just said. Everyone else in that top 5 has gone on the mediums, the wet tyres, apart from Josh McGill as well, who is entering the pit. And what is that Alpine going to go on to wet tyres? And he's got to serve that 5-second penalty, but I think he's absolutely got away with that, because he's going to come back out in the lead. He's served his 5-second time penalty. Maybe that's a bit of karma coming back to him, Lee, because
possibly.
Chuckle, even though we said it probably was a racing incident, he certainly pushed Josh McGill off the track, and he had taken the lead into turn 1.
I mean, it wasn't intentional. It was just
No,
outbreaking each other and fighting really hard. Adrenaline's going. You can't script, really. Right? Seen Tyler into the pits for them mediums. Turn it
done it
upside
as
down.
well.
It's a W. For them wets. It's Phil going to come in. He's the only one out there. Funnily enough, he's Denham Magnussen. Let's see, he's going to come in.
No, he's not. Staying out.
That's interesting. We'll keep an eye on him and
Very interesting.
see how he's going to get on.
Very interesting. So we're on the 10th lap of... oh. We're on the 10th lap of this race. As I said, Josh McGill, very lucky indeed not to get away with that 5-second penalty effectively, but it wasn't his fault that he went off track, and maybe he could have made more of an effort to get straight back on track. He did cut turn 2.
Ah, yeah, you do make a fair point there.
See, he sort of went off there, didn't he? And he did it first, go across that P0 sponsorship on the floor. I'm just seeing it there from a off-board shot, but then took to the tarmac runoff and cut turn 2. So where is the final car? Just coming out of turn 11 and about to go on to the lead lap. I think we're going to have the safety car for another lap, you know, Lee.
Yeah, I think so. And that's next are just coming across the line now.
Yeah. And the leaders are at turn 10. Yeah, we're going to get another lap, 100%. So we'll get going on lap 12. Well, lap 13, actually. And how's the weather? The weather hasn't really changed. We've still got some standing water. I mean, Phil's still got that opportunity to pit if he wants to change his mind. He is going to lose 2 places, but he will be on the freshest set of wet tyres. It's probably going to be able to catch back up to the back of the queue before the end of the next lap. But he's taking a gamble. I like it though, Lee. I like that he's taking a gamble.
I mean, it could be possibly that the weather might lighten up in a few laps' time, but he's staying out.
Yeah, and the final two cars now coming through the wall of champions, and the leaders are at turn 3. So, yeah, we'll be getting back underway at the end of this lap. And of course, those drivers who are just catching up to the back are going to have really good tyre temperature when they get to the back of the queue. It might give them a nice advantage at the restart, especially for Bugatti and Inexa. So they're going to join at the back of the queue, I think, just before the safety car will be shown as going in.
Yeah, I mean, what is that safety car? Just after
Turn
the
8.
DRS detection point.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm just coming around turn 6 now onto this little straight here.
Yeah, perfect timing. It's about to tell us right now.
In this lap.
There we go.
There we go.
So now Josh McGill dictates the pace. He's got rid of that 5-second time penalty, but now he's got that Williams breathing down his neck. Is he going to be able to withstand the pressure? He did have a very good lead of 17 seconds just before the safety car came out. It did extend a little bit more, but that was just due to deltas and those sorts of things. You can see the safety car just going into the mist in the very distance and is now in the pit lane. So Josh McGill can go whenever he's ready. He's kept a very steady speed down this back straight, weaving, and short mark is actually not weaving. I think he's got himself back underway now as we go into the wall of champions. Cautious on the brakes, not been on the wet tyres this race at full speed just yet, but now is going to have to deal with that new compound in these conditions. And looks like he's got a very good restart. Short Marcus trying to hold on to his coattails as we make our way through turn 2 and now through turn 3 with that Alpine of Tyler getting very close to the back of that Ferrari as we go through turn 4 and through the right-hander of turn 5. He's going to look for a move at turn 6. Does have a little peek to the inside, but holds position through turn 6 and 7. Phil and the Williams of Cameron and Aki all jostling for position, and Aki has been the one to come out in the worst position to hit the wall on the exit of turn number 7. As Chuck gets past his sibling, and now Chuckle trying to go up the inside. He's out-braked himself completely and took his front wing off and his front tyre. He just couldn't stop. Safety car again. It's like he didn't know where the brake pedal was.
Yeah, so safety car again. Hopefully this will only be a couple of laps. But we're seeing Chuck into the pits, same with Phil. Oh, and Bugatti Slovens into the pits as well. Has he got damage or is he just getting a fresh set? Fresh set. He's only going to lose one push really, so... Ooh, Aki and Chuck are out in the inters now. That's quite interesting. Have you muted yourself?
Yeah, 1 second there. I'll be back in a sec.
Alright, okay. So see right there, Chuck, and Phil on the inters. Only 2 people on the intermediate compound right now. Then Greenwood Pirellis. We are with Josh McGill right now.
So, I thought we could spice up the safety car because I've got a helium balloon for the missus' birthday, so let's give it a go. So what you... Oh, it didn't work that time. 1 second.
What's that?
So, we're under the safety car at the moment. We're just waiting for it to restart, and oh, sound fantastic.
For some reason...
You stop talking there. Huh?
For some reason you sound like a jockey. Well, what I would imagine a jockey. But it just reminds me like...
Who you calling a jockey? Come and get a... Oh, yeah.
I hate you. I was just having a drink.
Safety car in this lap. I think Jack's been watching the stream. Jack, comment if you still watching. Yep. Ah, Jack's still watching.
As soon as you say that.
Okay, right. Well, we're about to get underway again. Hope you liked the safety car entertainment. I was going to do it at the start. Spoiler alert. Well, not really anymore, but spoiler alert. I was going to do it at the start, but we got caught off guard, so I didn't.
So see, it's going to be Josh McGill on the restart here. And it looks like he's gone now.
He certainly has. He's got himself back underway, and we now go down towards turn 1. You have to take over for a second.
Right, so looks like everybody's been quite cautious. You've seen how these intermediate tyres are going to be running. It's going to be okay. But it looks like got next are going to be inside the Hammer and Sons there, or Sammer and Kim's. Into turn 3, nicely done there, and it looks like that's left the door open for Chuck, sorry, to move up, and Phil. Nicely done it.
So they both get up the inside. And
yes.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really waste it now. I mean, yeah. So we'll carry on. Oh, my voice is coming back. There we go. Doesn't take long, and Phil now getting back past Chuck, and the intermediates potentially. They're looking actually quite good now.
It does seem like the ringers are lighting up a little bit at the end game. Seen, oh, Matty Jones out breaking himself there for turn 10. This is going to lose busted. Actually a chance to get up there. Callum Sims are dropping down a wee bit there. Aki just moved past him.
So yeah, Cameron's now dropped down to 12 pace. And as Jack saying in the comments, we should have a helium exclusive tomorrow night for Thursday's commentating. We'll see what anyone says in the comments. It costs me a lot of money though. As we're seeing a Bugatti, I sound like one of those announcers at the train thing, you know, train station thing. As now, ooh. Yeah, right. We're just going to let that float away now and stop messing around because we've got.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I don't think they can hold it together for much longer. As
no.
We go through turn 5, and Phil now looking up the inside, and oh, I think I've still got a little bit in my voice. And now, we get on the exit. It looked like the wet tyres are looking like the better option at the moment. As Jack says, mind the gap, lads, and none of them minding the gap here as we go through turn 9 and on my way towards turn 10. who's going to be the latest on the brakes. Chuck looking up the inside of Inexa, but isn't able to get alongside. We get on the exit, he gets alongside though, and may get the better exit as he got a really bad oversteer moment. Inexa through turn 10 has now lost the place, and he might lose another place to a Haas as we move on. And the Aston Martin and Matty Jones as well. It's a four-way fight for 6th place as it stands as we go through the Wall of Champions and on to the next lap. And there goes Matty Jones into the wall. Lots of drivers struggling with the rear end in the wet conditions.
Battered that quite hard, and he's lost the end plate off that front wing. That's going to provide him.
Oh, almost going again there at the exit of turn 2, and Bugatti now moving up into 9th place, and Matty Jones going quite wide there.
Oh, sorry, Ginge and Paul Jones
yep.
are battling out for that final podium slot. Ginge just getting a little bit shaky, not managing to get the traction down as much as that Alpha Tauri, but then that will change after turn 10 here. And will have the slipstream.
Zaki gets past Matty Jones with that wing damage. Oh, as he goes deep into turn 8 and has to take to the runoff, and now down in last place. So the Williams of Short Marcus in second, and his teammate is in the penultimate position in the race. And Josh McGill is still holding on to that lead as Paul Jones has increased the gap on that Mercedes driver. And now Chuck moving up into 5th place. The intermediate's looking like a really good tyre at this point in the race as we go on to lap 19. Is it going back towards the Inters again now, Lee? I think it is.
I think it could possibly be. Then again, Tyler's right on the tail of Chuck ahead. Oh, looks like he's not able to keep the pace. I think the Inters could be the better tyre right now.
Yeah, well, I'm keeping a close eye on Chuck and seeing if he can catch up to the top 4. We'll see it through this section here if the tyre is really working. We've got a yellow flag on the start finish. It was Matty Jones who'd slowed down on the start finish. Yeah, Chuck is catching up. He outbrakes himself though at the hairpin, so that's really going to cost him on the exit now as the 72 Ferrari gets back on the power and down the back straight. Of course, usually a DRS straight, but don't have DRS in wet conditions as we go down to the final 2 corners. And he is closing that gap on that Mercedes. And Tyler just in the background there has just clipped the wall as he made his way through the Wall of Champions. Phil retires in the pit lane. So a lot of drivers have bowed out of this race early on. His Inexa has gone on to the Inters now, so he's thinking that's the better tyre. And Short Marcus closing that gap as well, Lee. It's intermediate weather now, though, Lee, I think.
I think it could possibly be, yeah. I mean, we'll assume Matty Jones, he's on the first set of Inters. Nexus just went on to the Inters there.
Yeah, and Chuck is just taking seconds out of Ginge, and he's almost in a position now where he can try and look to overtake the Mercedes driver as he goes wide and opens the door for that Ferrari. It's going to be a drag now towards turn 13 and the Wall of Champions as we go on to the back straight. Chuck has the grip to get past. He weaves reeks left to right on the back straight and just trying to break the toe from that Mercedes as he's struggling to get on the power as we go through the Wall of Champions and down into turn 1. These drivers at the top of the field, I think they're going to have to pit.
I think so.
Tyler's pitting. He has to have a front wing change there, where he had that clip with the wall, but he's gone onto the wet. So what's going to happen here? We're now down to within a second between the top two. Well, it's just creeped back over it again. I think this is going to be a game of chicken lead between these two. Who's going to go on the inters first? Because we've still got a way to go.
I think the earlier might be the better.
Yeah, I think it's got to be this lap now. As Ginge, he's got it. As he just can't stop for turn 10. The drivers on wet tyres just can't get it to stop at the hairpin. Now, Paul Jones might be coming in, so Chuck's, and he has thought about it smart. He's just held back, yeah, as he does come in. This is interesting. Oh, 3 second time penalty for Chuck for multiple warnings. He got that through the final chicane.
Yeah, he just break himself a little bit, you know. Let's see. Oh, see, next second past Aki there for 7th place. There's Aki looking at a little dive down the inside, and that was thinking better right there.
And he goes into the pits.
Oh.
And he gets it stopped nice and early to make sure he doesn't get himself a time penalty. That's always the better way to do it. Lose a second or so, getting on the brakes earlier, just so you don't get a 3 second time penalty, because mentally as well, that can really affect you for the rest of the race, knowing you've got a penalty against your name. As Aki comes out on the inters, the Williams gets out just ahead of Aki. Gone onto the wet tyres, has the Williams. But I don't think it's... But on the other hand, is it starting to get heavier again?
I mean, we are seeing quite a lot of spray here.
It just looks like it's getting worse. As Bugatti goes wide at turn 10, seen that far too often today. And that Alpha Tauri is just going to swoosh around the outside before he hits the brakes. He's up into 5th place. It's going to be higher than that as Short Marcus now dives into the pit. So he's decided it's intermediate weather now. And where's Ginge going to pop out? There's Short Marcus. There's Paul Jones coming through turn 2, and Short Marcus has just gone out ahead. So pitted at the right time to only lose 1 place. And he's got a lot of free air ahead of him. And there's Ginge just getting ahead of Inexa. Of course, his tyres are...
When are these guys going to...
Oh, here comes Josh McGill.
Oh.
So this is...
So this is going to be... Oh. Maybe?
Oh no, that's really not what he needed. As Chuck takes the lead now. Where's this? This is going to be close, I think, between Josh McGill though and Short Marcus. Actually, I think. Wow, Short Marcus has done the overcut here. Actually, I think it's gone back to wet.
You think so?
I think so. I really do, because Short Marcus has lost time to Josh McGill when he was on the wets. He's now gone to the intermediates. Yeah, well.
It's quite interesting. Well, see how... I'm going to keep an eye on Tyler and Cameron also.
And Chuck's in a difficult place now. Like, if it is starting to turn back to wet conditions again, or wetter conditions, does he pit? Does he just try and hold on for the next 11 laps?
I would say just hold on, just manage that gap.
Ooh, we've got a yellow. That's Aki round.
On 6.
Hasn't caused a safety car this time. Paul Jones setting the fastest lap of the race. Maybe the track is getting better actually.
Ooh. You know, Josh McGill's went and took about 6.5 seconds. Got it from 7.5 seconds down to like 6.2 already.
Yeah, and looks like he's going faster as well. As he makes his way down towards turn 8 and 9, as we're with the helicopter for this one. Doesn't look like he went over track limits there at turn 9 at the apex. And he's up on his time. He's 3/4 of a second up on his PB. It's now down to 3.7 seconds, but what has Chuck got in terms of penalties? He's got 3 seconds. Josh McGill's got 5, so he's going to have to be 2 seconds ahead. Is that right? My brain's just gone as we see the fastest lap there from Josh McGill, who's trying to hunt down Chuck, the race leader, as Aki comes out, now lapped.
Oh, Taylor's into the pits. He's most likely about to go on intermediate tyres now. Yep. So everybody's back on the intermediates again.
It's certainly been an interesting race in terms of strategy. It's been one of the best kind of strategy races we've had for a long time, I think.
Yeah, it's reminding me a bit of the, what do you call it, what race was at Monza a couple of years ago?
What we raced in.
I think it was that.
That was more into stride though, wasn't it? It kept switching from one to the other. That was interesting as well. We raced in that one rather than commentating on it. But no, it's been good. It's been interesting. It's Josh McGill now right on the gearbox of that Ferrari as we go into the final 2 corners.
Oh,
As Chuck gets himself another penalty.
no, Josh doesn't need to overtake now.
No, he just needs to be within a second. Interesting. Very, very interesting now. As you said, the tables have really turned. The ball is now in Josh McGill's court.
Yeah, definitely. See Paul Jones right on the back of Short Marcus here.
See Josh McGill now overtaking Chuck.
Oh.
Went past him with ease on the exit of turn 7.
It'll be within tyres being 10 laps younger. He's already managed to pull a 1.1 second gap.
Yeah. I said he's just about to say he's under threat now from Short Marcus and Paul Jones as well. Chuck?
Yeah, I mean, well, judging by right now, from penalties, well, Josh McGill's going to have to get a 5-second gap to Short Marcus, which has only got a second left to go. Possibly hoping that Chuck's going to be a bit of a buffer to that and help him out. If anything, if Short Marcus and Chuck get into a battle, or Paul Jones also get in a battle, that could leave him time to get away. Perfect. Just another couple of seconds on short Marcus and Paul Jones.
Yeah, they're definitely catching up, and Chuck on those older intermediate tyres, he's certainly going to be struggling now, no doubt. As you said, those tyres 10 lap older than his competitors around him at the very least. And he's almost turning into a sitting duck now, especially with those time penalties, which he's got 2 of them now, 6 seconds.
Seen one person has done quite well, well, 2 people have done quite well here as Ginger and Nixa. Ginger up 6 plus Nixa up 7.
Yep, just kept it consistent. And just quite an easy, just taking it easy, as Nixa has got a time penalty. We've only got 11 drivers left, and we've got just over half of them with time penalties. 6 having penalties, 5 don't. But of course, we've had 5 drivers out in this race as well. Started with 16. And they are now getting right into the latter stages of this race, as we're now starting to see, Lee, a 3-way fight for that second place on the road. Obviously, time penalties are going to play a factor in this now. But Paul Jones and Short Marcus effectively are now fighting for second place.
Yeah, essentially, I mean...
Or potentially first, actually. I mean, this could all change as Short Marcus gets past Chuck and moves up into second place. He's now 6.3 seconds behind Josh McGill, who does have a 5-second time penalty. Just double check that. It is a 5-second time penalty. So Josh has got to keep this above 5 seconds. In total, he's had 10 seconds worth of time penalties in this race. And as it stands right now, he would be winning this first round in Wednesday. So that would be absolutely fantastic if he can do that. But he's got 5.5 laps to go, as Short Marcus knows he needs to catch up. But in doing so, he's lost time. But getting on the power too early and getting the rear end to step out of control is...
Matty Jones into the pits.
Is Matty Jones going for the fastest lap?
Yep, I think so.
That's what he's going to attempt. 7.4 now between the top 2.
Short Marcus, the gap's increased to 7.5 seconds now.
Yeah.
Paul Jones looking for a move on Chuck. No DRS here. Is absolutely washing it down. Gets up into P3 with ease.
So it has now really turned into the fight for second, because Josh McGill somehow, I don't know if it's Short Marcus overdriving it a little bit, but Josh is just pulled out the gap, and as I said, he's had 10 seconds worth of penalties in this race, but still leading.
I think he possibly done is managed to set up his car more for a race pace, knowing that it's going to be raining, so he's going to
Paul Jones almost lost it. Through turn 7.
Did notice a lap or two ago, I'm struggling there. I think it was coming out of turn 8. He went and got a little bit shaky. Yellow flag, what's that for? That's
not too sure. Is Paul Jones now going to try and get back past Chuck, who, as it stands, will be finishing in 4th place? So top 4 has a massive gap to the rest of the field, almost a pit stop ahead. So what do you think? Do you think Paul Jones is just going to try and relax as much as he can for the rest of this race, Lee, and just stay behind Chuck because he doesn't have to worry about it? Oh, Chuck gets out of shape there, and now Paul Jones gets back past.
I mean, I think the best idea for him would be to just keep going. I mean, you never know what could happen with short Marcus. Possibly could end up messing up maybe, or Josh McGill. You never know what might happen, especially in these wet conditions, as it could be quite unpredictable at times. We've got right on the tailcoats of Nixa there. In a battle for sixth here, got the gap down to less than half a second here.
Not
go for the exit at 8.
Not really much of a move though, really, for him, or a battle, should I say, because our next has got a time penalty, so the pressure is off in that sense.
True, but you always want to get it on track. You've seen Mike Jones getting a penalty.
So we're now on to the third to final lap, with the race leader. Short Marcus now makes his way through turn 2. Just the gap is increasing every lap, and Josh just making sure that he's going to secure this victory. Bugatti looks like he's got Nexa on the exit of turn 10.
Yeah, you just got the better traction on the exit and managed to get up speed quicker. Seen Taylor getting a 3-second time penalty there. Well, Josh McGill's increased that gap to 10.2 seconds. 10.3 now, sorry.
Yeah. As he makes his way into the hairpin of turn 10. So, just out of curiosity, Jack, are you still with us? Have you watched this whole stream? If you're wondering, Jack is my friend who's not really a big Formula 1 fan, but surprised me. Downloaded the game last night, so and gave it a go. Don't know if he's going to be doing it again. Yeah, so just wondering if he's been watching the stream. He's still there, as I said. So hopefully we can turn him to the dark side, lads. We're just, as I said, the race is settled.
Oh.
Paul Jones getting himself a time penalty. But of course, Chuck has got 2 time penalties, 6 seconds to his name.
Yep, so he's got a bit, he's able to relax in that sense.
Yeah, but he's just got to keep it on the black stuff now for the next lap and 2/3.
Sure it does.
So, we've got a lap and a half to go, Lee. Driver of the day?
Kind of stuck between 3 in all honesty.
Who's your 3?
I would say Ginge, Short Marcus or Josh McGill.
Hold on, wait there. There's some people watching. Everyone who's been watching, I know people like Jack and Prof, I think, is probably watching as well. Who do you think should be driver of the day today? Who do we think? Doesn't have to have won. So, yeah, be interested to know. We're on to the last lap, so let us know by the end of the stream who the driver of the day is. If you don't, Lee will have to decide, but it'd be nice for a change if the viewers could pick the driver of the day. So, looks like it's pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yep, that looks like it.
It certainly does now. Josh McGill over 11 seconds in the lead. It was more like 4 or 5 when Short Marcus got to that second place, and he's just it's about 6.5, and he's just opened that gap as he goes into turn 10 for the 35th and final time in this race. I say, if anyone has a view on Driver of the Day, let us know in the chat who you think it was. But yeah, he started on the front row in second place. He went off the road at turn 1 on the first lap, but he's going to come home first on the road in the first round of season 12. Josh McGill wins the Canadian Grand Prix in the Wednesday tier.
We've seen Sean Marcus coming across the line in second place there. There we go. 6.7 in the gap after that 5-second penalty. Paul Jones coming across the line. Next is Chuck in the Ferrari.
And yeah, he's going to finish 4th. And we got Ginge.
Got Aki and Cameron Sims across the line as they two have been on the lap.
Yeah.
Got Matty and Tyler battling it out here on the exit of turn 10. Matty just managing to get ahead, get the better grip there, and get that 8th, but then Tyler coming flying back with the aid of his ERS battery. Unfortunately, Matty Jones had none left near the end of there, and coming out the final corner, it looks like Tyler got shaking, so did Matty there on the exit. Oh, that was so close between the two of them.
It really was.
That was a right battle for 8th there, right to the line. That's what we want to see.
So I think we're going to go through. I think in the comments, Bugatti's going to get Driver of the Day at the end. I think that seems like the overall gist.
Mm-hmm.
For a final time, Lee.
Right, so a little bit of a rundown here. So we see Josh McGill getting that first place and the fastest lap, also with 1:22.011. Sean Marcus getting that P2, and third was Paul Jones Jr. Fourth was Chuck Ginge, was fifth Bugatti Sloven, and sixth also a Driver of the Day. Next in 7th, Tyler was in 8th, Matty Jones in 9th. That was a great wee battle from them two at the end there. Cameron Sims in 10th, Aki in 11th, and then we had Phil, Chuckle, Prodigy, Teachman, and Lee Craig all did not finish this race.
So that's it for the first round in the Wednesday tier. We'll be back again tomorrow night for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So most likely no rain tomorrow night. Same time, same place, 8 o'clock tomorrow. And next week we will be in Austria at the Red Bull Ring for the second round of the Wednesday tier. And of course, before then, Monday, you won't have us, you'll have Short Marcus for that round of the short qualifying 50% format. And we will be in Bahrain for the second round in Monday. So make sure to check that out. Please make sure you like, share the video to people who like watching the races, and subscribe to the channel. So we'll try and get some content. We've got Jack in the comments who potentially is going to help me with some videos as well. So maybe we'll get some more out than just moments of the week. We'll have to wait and see. But until tomorrow, it's goodbye from me and from Lee.
Peace out.